preparing for the worst and moving for the repeal of this First Amendment attacking situation that also gets rid of equal protection under the law, as the Attorney General Holder admits?
I think we're going to know the answer to that in about 3 days, Alex. What we need to do now is concentrate our firepower in literally thousands, if not tens of thousands, of emails coming in, and they will be electronically counted. They'll give a strong recorded.
Okay, whitehouse.gov/comments. Contacts.
That's whitehouse.gov/contact. And if people would like to get this information, just come to truthtellers.org. We have it all there on the action page.
All right. Pastor Ted Pike, thank you so much. You fought the good fight. Hopefully we can beat this. Take care.
Thank you, Alex.
Heart disease.
We're going to continue to take your phone calls throughout the radio broadcast today. I haven't even begun to break down what's happening with Obama's national emergency with the flu. That was declared back in May, quietly, under UN Level 6. The treaties signed between the nation states and the UN were implemented then. This is a formality of treason by the acting chair of the UN Security Council, Barack H. Obama. Let's go to your phone calls. Brian in Montreal, you're on the air. Welcome.
Hi, Alex. I'd like to just mention two things to you. The first thing, you're absolutely right about the media cover-up. Last night at 11 o'clock at night on CTV News, they start the report by saying that they took a poll and 51% of Canadians refused the shot. So you're absolutely right that we've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, the other polls, that's a low one, and then that's Canada. In the U.S., it's as high as 76%.
Yeah, and in the news report, they made sure, like they talked to one person that said that they weren't going to get the flu shot, but that's all they gave the guy the time to say. You understand? And then they shut him right up, and they don't talk about why he refuses to get the shot. And it was the same thing over the weekend on CBC Radio. They opened up a clinic at the Côte Vertu Shopping Center, and plenty of doctors were talking about it and nurses. But when the reporter was asking people on the street how many people were going to get the vaccination, over 75% of them said they were not sure because they had to investigate it more because they had heard things. So we've been doing a bang-up job of informing.
And let me guess, they didn't show the doctors and nurses, the majority of which, in Canada, in the United States, they're refusing to take it. Let me guess, the doctors and nurses they showed said they love it and we all need to get it.
Oh, yes, it's 100% propaganda up here. It's pure salesmanship. We have nothing to fear. Actually, the only thing people have to fear is people like us spreading the truth because supposedly we're fear-mongering.
Well,
the other thing...
Go ahead.
Sorry, the other thing I wanted to mention is I do a show on 12160 called Northern Front on Tuesday nights, and about 2 weeks ago I talked with a woman who's taking a microbiology nursing course at the University of Sherbrooke. She refused to give me an interview, and she doesn't want me to publicize her name or anything, but the information she gave me was that in her class, they were all instructed that they're not allowed to talk to anybody about the H1N1 for fear that it will damage their current or future career.
Yeah, no. Listen, I appreciate your call. That's going on everywhere, Brian, this intimidation. We've had countless doctors and nurses on the radio show who've called in. We have shown countless news articles where nurses and doctors from Texas to New York to California have been ordered to take it or they'll lose their job. Meanwhile, we have health department heads on from major cities, and they say nobody has to take this. Well, then why in New York did the nurses have to sue to stop forced inoculation? Why are they suing in Massachusetts? They are attempting under the radar to force this. Coming up in the next segment, we have news articles where children are being given it, even though their parents said no, in the public schools. And I've had massive calls from parents saying their children came home and said they were injected, or they came home and they were given the flu mist without asking. You call the school and they say, oh, your son or daughter is imagining things. In fact, if I said no phone calls, but parents that this has happened to, we could take call after call after call. We've done this on 5 or 6 shows, or maybe more. You've heard those shows. And some parents give their name, they give the school, we call the school, we confirm it. This is going on, but now we have newscasts saying this. Now we have the reports confirming it. Let's jam in one more. Tyler in California. Tyler, you're on the air.
Hey, Alex, how's it going?
Good.
My aunt called me Saturday morning, and she's, thanking me for warning her about the flu and how it's going to damage you. And she said that our local hospital was having free swine flu vaccinations. And there was 2 streets, Hawthorne Boulevard and Prospect, just thousands of cars waiting at this public hospital. And so I hear that news, and I write a fluscam.com on the poster and run over there, try to get behind the cones to, the next cars going into the parking lot. And one of the guys in the blue shirt, he's all, "Hey, get out of here. The cop's coming over here right now to tase you. Get out." So I walk to the sidewalk, and then they tell me get off the property, and that's public property. So I cross the cone, and from across the street, I'm just walking this sign, fluscam.com, at these cars, these clueless people. And I come across this one lady. She's all, "Oh, so you're not going to do it?" And I'm like, "No, it's going to damage your immune system. Don't do it." And she's all, "Oh, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it. Are you a conservative?" She asked me, and I go, "No, it doesn't matter anymore. It's just population
Sir,
control."
what you did is beautiful, but YouTube it. Shoot video of it so tens of thousands can see it. In fact, we'll talk about solutions when we come back. Key info coming up. You don't want to miss this information. I'm going to break it all down.
We're on the march.
For radio listeners, you can go to Infowars.com or PrisonPlanet.com and go to the Flu Information Archive. All the articles I'm about to cover and more are posted there. Do not believe a word I say. Verify everything for yourself so you'll know that we're telling you the truth. Here are just some of the headlines. Berlin doctors worried they could have to pay compensation for swine flu jab damage. By the way, it's been all over the German news that their military and their government officials get a swine flu shot that does not have any of the additives or mercury in it, and it's not a live flu virus in it. Young child with asthma given flu mist H1N1 vaccine at school against parents' wishes. We have the newscast on that. That's coming up in a few minutes. DHS sets guidelines for possible swine flu quarantines. This is from April 28th of this year. Under Executive Order 13375, lockdown of cities, mass quarantines, forced inoculations. Read the executive order for yourself. That is what Obama is implementing with this national emergency. That does not mean they'll actually carry this out. But they've loaded the gun, they've chambered around with martial law. Will they pull the trigger? Your response is being studied to see if you'll go along with this. The good news is over 70% of Americans in major polls, over 60% of doctors and medical workers and nurses all over the news are saying no. They tried to make it mandatory in New York. They sued, the medical workers and doctors did, and got that defeated. So this is an attempt by the establishment to forcibly inject us, and the people worldwide are saying no. For anyone that is doubting what's happening, you can go to any Walgreens or major pharmacy, Walmart, you name it, and ask not for their information sheet. They're all printing up these fake sheets that say there's no bad reactions, no problems, there's no mercury. The New York Times has a public school program nationwide. We've covered this at PrisonPlanet.com, where they say, oh, we're exposing the myths. It can't give you Guillain-Barré neurological disorders. It can't sterilize you. It doesn't have mercury. It can't give you cancer. When the inserts, and here's a shot of it for people watching at PrisonPlanet.tv, there it is from the H1N1 vaccine handout, mercury. And it goes on. You can go to FDA.gov, FDA.gov, FDA, the letter F, the letter D, the letter A, .gov, and read the 5 major injectable flu vaccines and the 1 nasal spray vaccine. They're all the same, except the nasal spray says it can mutate it and breed it even faster in the nasal cavity and can kill you, maim you, or allow you to spread it. This is from Norvitis Vaccine Diagnostics Limited, September 2009, Influenza A, H1N1 2009 vaccine insert. On the first page, Guillain-Barré syndrome has occurred within 6 weeks of recipient of this influenza vaccine. That's page 1. Page 2, it goes on to talk about that